Guys, it's Brian here. BrianQblog.wordpress.com. Go there for the articles that I publish and write videos similar to this one, which is a weekly rundown of what I've written in the past week, as well as some other news that has come up that I haven't written about, but it might be worthy to talk about and I have an opinion on. So this is also I'm going to be combining this from now on with the game updates for every week. So along with the news articles will be the games coming out for this week, Tuesday, May 20th. So without further ado, let's get into that. We got the big one, Wolfenstein: The New Order on virtually every console: Xbox One, PS4, PS3, Xbox 360, PS3. I said that already. PC, no Wii or Wii U. Wolfenstein: New Order looks good. If you've gone through the other Wolfensteins, I'm sure you'll like this one. This one seems to be a much more not a realistic approach, but a bit more grounded approach. The other ones used to be much more like nocturnal and had special powers and whatnot. This one's just straight up guns and Nazis and good old World War II fun. So check it out. What else we got? We got R-Type Dimensions on the PS3, Mugen Souls Z on the PS3, Dragon Guard 3 on the PS3, Always Sometimes Monsters on the PC on a rare May 21st release date. We got The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing 2. Never played the first one. It's a PC game. Not a big PC fan. If you are, let me know. We got Tropico 5 on the PC. Mind Zero on the Vita. No, that's next week. Which one? My bad. And Killer is Dead Nightmare Edition on the PC, May 23rd. Killer is Dead. If you remember, that was I think the Suda 51 game. I think if I'm not correct, is it one of those weird Japanese games that is very abstract and it requires you to really think about it? The gameplay might not be so hot, but the story is very very weird. So yeah, those are the games coming out. Big one obviously being Wolfenstein: The New Order. This is going to be holding us over until next week when we got Watch Dogs, which is very very heavily anticipated. I'm going to be getting me a copy of that, and yeah, seems like a good week in video games. All right. Not if you're a Wii fan, though. Nothing coming out for that. So, with that out of the way, the three articles that I wrote this past week, usually it's three. It's most likely always going to be three articles per week, and with this being the recap, and just for time purposes on the video. So the first article that I wrote was Franco slams Spring Breakers 2, and, and pretty much what if you haven't read the article, it was just me reporting on how James Franco took the news about Spring Breakers 2 coming out. He released a photo on Instagram of him in character doing some, I don't know, I forget, he was like probably just laying on a bed or eating cereal. He's not a fan. He doesn't support it. He wants everybody to not watch it. He wants people to slam it. And the producers of the film came out and said James Franco's pretty much a hypocrite. They didn't say that outright. Again, there's direct quotes in the article to go read. But I do find it very funny that I have no side on this. I'm not biased. I like James Franco, but again, if you want to make a movie, you can make a movie. It seems like there's a lack of communication here, though, because the director of the first one, Harmony Current, something like that, I don't know, weird name, gave his consent to the producers to make the sequel. So it's not like they're doing it out of spite. Even if it was, they have the right to do it. So James Franco, you know, bite the bullet, I guess, man. They also, just to add, and again, this is why this video version is a little bit more important than the article sometimes, because I get to give you guys the update. If you don't know, you should. Pussy Riot members, I think Nadia and I forget the other girl, are going to be in the movie. I think they're the main characters in the movie of Spring Breakers 2, The Awakening. Oh, sorry. Yeah, and so it's weird, right? I mean, Pussy Riot, if you don't know, they're these Russian female feminist activists. They go around and they had a very big thing up in the Sochi Olympics where they performed right outside and people were like throwing stuff at them, and it was pretty crazy. Videos of it online. Check it out on YouTube. Just put in Pussy Riot, and yeah, there's a bunch of these badass chicks that stand up for what women rights up in Russia, just in other countries in general where women don't necessarily have the best opportunities. So it's cool to see that they have a book called Pussy Riot. They also have a film with the same name, Pussy Riot, a punk rock anthem for freedom. I sent something like that. Pretty good book. I took a read of it last a couple of months back. Very good book, and it's very short. So if you're looking for something to read, something a little interesting, go check that out. But yeah, overall, sequels being made whether you like it or not. If you want to watch, just vote with your dollar. You know, the very important dollar. Vote with your dollar. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. Simple as that. The second article I wrote is the Godzilla 2 Godzilla 2 the Godzilla review. The update is that Godzilla 2 is a go after it just did ridiculous numbers at the box office. We'll see how it holds up against X-Men Days of Future Past this week, but again, my opinions on the film are much more fleshed out in the article. And if just to summarize, if you were a fan of the Godzilla cartoon, the Saturday morning cartoons back, I think in the they were in the 90s. If you were a fan of that, you'll probably be a fan of the movie because the pacing is very similar to that, where you see Godzilla very early, and then you don't see him for a while, and then he comes out at the end and does his thing. No spoilers in that. The article is also spoilerish free, but I gave the movie an iffy rating, right? I don't have a solid structure rating yet. I don't even know if I'm going to ever do that. I don't think of ever confining something into numbers, but if you're a Godzilla fan and truly are a Godzilla fan, you'll check it out. If you're just a monster fan, you like big monsters and whatnot, and you don't necessarily get Godzilla, you don't necessarily get why people like Godzilla, I don't think this is the movie you should watch. Maybe go check it, Cloverfield out, go check another monster movie out. Godzilla is not like that. You need to be a real fan of this monster to get it. So yeah, there's that. And again, Godzilla 2 being made, already announced. I think it was announced yesterday, so check it. And let's see here. Oh, and the final article that I wrote was Gambit has been announced as part of the X-Men X-Force film that's coming out in like 2016. But what's more important is that Channing Tatum is playing Gambit. The reason that's more important is because they're doing now, because of the high-profile star Channing Tatum is, they're not just doing a cameo, which is what he was going to be in X-Force. He's going to have his own standalone film. And I don't know about that, man. I dig Gambit. Everyone digs Gambit. And this is not based off any past film experiences. We get what happened with Wolverine and how he was portrayed there. It's not that. It's just I want to know, before we've even seen the character or anything like that, I'm very hesitant when studios announced what, like, sequels on sequels or standalone films off characters that we've already seen. If you remember, we were promised a Magneto standalone film a while back, and that didn't pan out. So while this, and also we were promised a Deadpool film with Ryan Reynolds being Deadpool, which is why he made his cameo in the Wolverine X-Men Origins Wolverine. Yet we never got that. So while the producer, who I mentioned in the article, seems very confident that this standalone film with Channing Tatum as Gambit is going to be go ahead, it's going to happen, I don't know necessarily how truthful that is, especially with the X-Men franchise. We've seen a lot of standalone movies get brought up. They don't really work out. Now, there's a new head over at Marvel. You know, there's a new way they're moving there's a new direction they're moving with these X-Men films. So maybe it's a new person in charge that, you know, accidents like that won't happen again. But who knows, right? It's the weird business that Hollywood is in. A lot of things get announced and a lot of things don't get made. So, yeah, 2016 is X-Force, the new X-Men movie. If you don't know what that's about, I suggest you read the comics, maybe. If you're not a comic fan, go ahead and Wikipedia it, and yeah, check it out. It's basically about Apocalypse coming down, and if you don't know Apocalypse, then I'm not going to bother with that. Alright, guys, that was all my articles. That was all my gaming news updates. Please check out brianqblog.wordpress.com while I keep finding a place in this basement with the adequate lighting to do videos. I'm also going to be working on production and doing some sort of title screen. And I've seen guys on YouTube do that. I kind of feel like doing that. And anyway, yeah, thank you so much for supporting. Again, go read the articles, help me out, and take it easy. Have a good week. Catch you later.